And good morning, everybody. Caught you by surprise there, didn't I, Renata? Oh,
An abrupt end.
apparently Renata's there saying hi and welcome. Thanks for joining the show. And welcome to all of you who are coming on. My name is Anne Rekovich.
And I'm Renata Daniel. And we are just so ecstatic to say that in a few weeks' time, we'll be able to be together.
Woo!
Rather than doing this separately,
Yeah,
we can actually be together.
yes.
Good morning, Ian.
For those who may be new to the show, we are paranormal investigators. Renata is a psychic medium and a tarot reader. We run the Anne and Renata Frightfully Good brand, and you can find us on YouTube and on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, wherever. But our passion is traveling the world to as many historic and haunted locations as we can possibly get to when it's not Rona. So we will be back on the road very soon, we hope.
Next
Very,
year.
very soon. We have planned 3 trips next year. The first one's to Norfolk Island, and if any of you are interested in that, we're actually going to be taking a small group with us to Norfolk Island, and we then are going to head over to the United States, and then we are going to head to Scotland later in the year. Welcome all the, oh wow, we've got 33 people on. Thank you, guys. So what are we looking at today, Renata?
Well, we're looking at the Taj Mahal. I decided to try and it's getting harder as we go through the alphabet. It's actually getting harder to find subjects. Who thought?
Oh, wait till next week with you.
And yeah, look, if anyone's got a great subject starting with the letter U, please let us know.
There might be a university somewhere that's haunted.
University could well be. But yeah. So it was a little bit difficult to try and find something that was of interest, because I'm not going to do it if it doesn't interest me. Let's face it. Yeah. And I found it really hard to find anything that interested me this time. And I was listening to another podcast, and they were actually talking about the Taj Mahal as somewhere that could have been interesting and haunted. And so I had a little looky and decided, okay, that will be it. For the letter T this week, you are being handed the Taj Mahal.
I like it. I didn't know there was a story attached to it either, so this is all very new to me. Welcome to everyone, and a big shout out to Patrick Keller from the Big Seance podcast. Woohoo!
Hello, Patrick. How are you? Gorgeous. Look, the thing is...
there's a good one. Faye, unicorns.
Okay.
I like it a lot. Sorry, what were you saying, Renata? I cut you off.
Look, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, let's just see how this goes. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, you ready?
Let me just say that we will have time at the end of this hour to do some readings for you. So if you are interested to stick around towards the end and you have a pressing question, I will do some readings from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, and Anne will assist using our fabulous, frightfully good oracle cards that we produced out of sheer frustration because of all the love and light shit that's out there.
All the love and light fluffy bunnies. Greetings from my front room. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hello,
all right,
Susan.
Pop that in and get that happening for you. So that's coming up okay there, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, why is it not working? I've got to press present. Hang on. There we go.
Aha. So, welcome to a little bit of information about the Taj Mahal. Geez, hands up if you've been there. That would be interesting to know if anyone that is watching has actually been to the Taj Mahal. I have to say that India is not on my bucket list.
No.
It is not on my bucket list. I'm
We're too old
terrified.
for that shit. We like
I
a little bit of niceties.
Yeah, I'm a bit terrified of India, so it is not on my bucket list. I'm happy to watch any programs on TV from the safety of my couch. But yes, I am just a little bit terrified of India. So if you have been there, hands up. That would be awesome. So yes, the Taj Mahal is also known as the crown of the palace.
Oh, next slide.
Yes, please. So people see the Taj Mahal as a beautiful piece of architecture, a wonder of the modern world, and a place to visit. But did you know that it was also a mausoleum?
I did actually.
Yeah. So it's called the crown of the palace because it comes from a Persian word which means a crown. Well, and Mahal was Mumat's or Mumtaz, sorry, I got it wrong. Mumtaz's surname for whom Shah Jahan built this tomb. So Shah Jahan married Mumtaz, and we'll hear a little bit more about that as the slides progress. But when she passed away, he built a tomb for her. And my goodness, it is the biggest tomb in the world.
Ding. Sorry, I'm just organising something else there, Renata. So I'm sorry about the my lack of concentration.
So it is made of white marble in the city of Agra on the banks of Yamuna. Yamuna.
You sound like a cow. Yamuna.
Yamuna. It was built in 1632 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the memory of his favourite wife, which obviously means that he had more than one. It also houses the tomb of Shah Jahan. And apparently, he was actually not allowed to go there in his later years. He got quite unwell, and he was not allowed to enter or be near the Taj Mahal until after his death.
Ah. So he was allowed there once he died.
Yes,
That
yes.
sounds like my sort of person.
So Mumtaz died during the birth of the couple's 14th child. And this is said to have been something that affected the emperor greatly. Therefore, his work to build the Taj Mahal in order to commemorate his wife commenced.
Oh, so I'm just laughing at some of these comments.
I'm reading Patrick's. So to ensure his tribute to his late wife remained unmatched as the most impressive building in India and, I dare say, the world, the emperor supposedly murdered or tortured many of the artists and skilled workers who built the Taj Mahal, supposedly. Thousands of people were killed or disfigured in ways that ensured they could not work on any other building. This allegedly saw many of their hands cut off and eyes gouged out.
Ah. Ah. You right there, Renata?
It was okay. Another prevalent rumor. I just had
We
a black
need more.
screen.
Oh,
No,
did
I
you?
just
Oh, no, all right. Sorry, it's there. Don't know
yeah.
why. Oh, I can see. I'm having a few issues with the internet, guys, by the looks of this. So I'm just going to shut down a few other things to make sure I know that there is no other things streaming at the moment, so I don't know why my internet is being so shitey. But anyway.
Okay, so another prevalent rumor about the Taj is that it holds a series of mysterious and hidden tunnels. These seem
Tunnels!
this seems completely plausible, as the actual tombs of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal are located in a hidden room underneath where their coffins are publicly displayed.
Ooh! But you won't go into tunnels with me.
No, well, you can't go into any of these tunnels either because they're all bricked up, and I'll have photos of that later on.
But there's great tunnels and things, the Drakelow tunnels and tunnels in England that we could have gone ghost hunting in, but you didn't want to go.
Yeah, I'm not a tunnel person.
Oh.
So only a few people know that the full name of Shah Jahan is Shahab ud Din Muhammad Khurram. He was born on the 5th of January 1592 and died on the 22nd of January 1666. However, he was known by his royal name. He was the fifth Mughal emperor who ruled from 1628 to 1658. And that's a real painting of him right there. That's exactly how he looked. Not.
Oh. that was his Tinder photo. Okay.
So
Could be worse. Could have been Grinder.
Mumtaz was born on the 27th of April 1593 and died on the 17th of June 1631. She became the chief wife and queen of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan from the 19th of January 1628 to the 17th of June 1631. She was only 38 when she died.
Oh, wow, that's young. I bet one of the other wives did her in. I bet you.
No. She died during childbirth.
Ah, right, okay. Madeleine, it's all right. Madeleine has said that if I come to Scotland or England and I need to go into the tunnel, she's going to come with me. So you can stay at home in your motel room, and Madalena and I are going to go ghost hunting, Renata.
Madalena, that's a threat. Okay, that's a threat. I'm taking that challenge up. Right.
What,
you're on.
You're going to come with us, or you're going to stay in the motel room?
I will just eat scones and clotted cream, and you guys can go. You guys can go ghost hunting.
I just got my DNA updated, everyone from England and Ireland and Scotland, and I just found out that I am basically 80% Irish and Scottish. Isn't that cool? Anyway, keep going. You're doing a great job there, Renata.
So we're going to do this a lot today. I can feel it.
Yeah,
so this is in the air. This is an artist's impression of some of the spots around the Taj where they say that there are hidden rooms and hidden floors, and they have found allegedly doorways that you cannot get into. Now, this all leads to a suspicion. Let me get onto that as we go through the slides, right? So just remember, this Taj Mahal, right, was built by whatever his name is, Jamal, whatever. And it is the biggest mausoleum in India, in the world, and it is one of the most famous structures in the world, right? And it has a story. It has a fantasy that has now been built around this amazing love story that this man had for one of his wives, and he employed all of the most skilled builders in the land to come and build this mausoleum made from white marble. And there are thousands of people every year that go and visit this place because of the story that is attached to it. And I remember, I'm old enough to remember the first time
when it was built.
We saw the pictures of Princess Diana sitting there in front of the Taj Mahal. She certainly did not look happy. And of course, we know by the history that she was not happy. But it is one of the most compelling photos of anyone at the Taj Mahal that I have ever seen. The loneliness that is written all over her face is palpable. And so you have this real weird positioning of the energy of this place really reaching out to her. And it's an amazing photo. If anyone hasn't seen it, which I doubt, but if you haven't seen Princess Diana sitting in front of the Taj Mahal alone, go and check it out.
Yeah, I've just found that there. I'll see if I can pop it up for you. It's just a matter of
You can
apparently
do it
there's
at the end.
yeah, they've got people that have made them into postcards and all sorts of things. Yeah, internet's been dodgy again.
Okay, so this is a photograph, and it actually shows one of these entrances, these mysterious entrances around the Taj that, yeah, just look very, very interesting. And I guess if you do a walk around the place, and it is extremely huge, sits on several acres, you can find these hidden doorways, but they are all bricked up. So why? That's the interesting question. Why? Why are these levels not open? Why don't we know any more about them?
As Hope said there, the Taj Mahal is sinking, so maybe that could be one of the reasons. Yes, and then he chopped their hands off so it can't be built again. Yeah, it's pretty brutal, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can I just let you know about that particular story, that it is not true. It is one of the myths and legends that surround the Taj Mahal, to give it, I guess, more spice and to give it more of that story and that sort of that legendary status. But there is actually no information anywhere that says that story is true.
all right. Just let me quickly pop that up there so you can quickly see. That's the Diana picture that you were talking about.
Ah, yes.
Okay, I'm just going to now remove that one. Stop screen share. Now I've got to go back and get the other one. There we go. And we're back. Do you want me to go to the next one?
Oh, yes, please. So this is one photograph that was taken by a visitor who captured this creepy creature person.
It's Krusty the Clown. I swear that's Krusty.
It's very creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not pareidolia. That's actually something sticking out there.
Mm. Yeah.
That's a really interesting photo. Okay, sorry.
So, what is the mystery behind the closed basement here? A puzzle that no one has been able to solve till date. Many photographs of the Taj Mahal, which are from the banks of the river, tell us that the basement has 2 levels. So we're getting a little bit into the kind of the underneath, the under regions of what we see,
The
or
nether
what is
regions.
the nether regions, yes, of what is normally presented to people as the beauty of the Taj, but there is actually secrets that sit underneath the Taj as well.
Oh, and good news, Claire's organised a shot for tomorrow. Woohoo! Sorry, that's actually unnerving. I agree. That's one of the creepiest photos I've seen in a long time. Now, this slideshow, once again, has been put together by Renata, but please notice that little picture there on the side. I put that in. That's my effort. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
So this is another photograph of a shadow figure at the end of a hallway or a walkway down underneath. And I read an interesting article that talked about the fact that, and one of the listeners here or one of the people watching actually mentioned that the Taj is thinking.
Yes.
And that
You hope?
that's a little bit true, but also that is something that was architecturally installed in some areas or worked with in some areas of the Taj while it was being built, because you can find photos that show you levels looking down through the Taj. And there are areas where there are 5 or 6 or 7 levels, and the last level is waterbound. It is just filled with water. And the
Wow.
idea behind that was, this is fascinating, the idea behind that, and it's kind of circular. So you've got all these rooms and passages going off where this big tunnel sits, or this big sort of cut through the Taj is. So you've got like a hole in the middle, right? And you've got these doorways or these passages that would open up into this tunnel, this cut through, and then right at the bottom of that sits water. Now, why was it constructed that way? Because if the Taj was under threat and it was going to be sieged, everyone could run into the rooms where all the gold and silver and jewelry was, and then come out into these spaces and drop it down into the water, which would then cover all of that up. And seemingly, no one would go down into that or try and look for what is there, because there's no way to get down into the water. It's a drop, but it
Right.
could be retrieved after the siege, because obviously the people who threw the things down there would know that that's where they were.
Yeah, yeah.
So how ingenious is that?
That's so clever. Wow. Okay.
So if there was a fire or anything as well, I guess that you wouldn't risk precious jewels and things actually being destroyed. So some theorists believe the basement, which was closed during the period of 1995 to 1996, houses the second and third level of the monument. The reason behind locking these chambers was excess exposure to carbon dioxide, which is true. According to their theory, these chambers are made of marble, which gets transformed into calcium carbonate when exposed to carbon dioxide, which converts marble into a powdered form. So one of the things that was going on was this buildup of carbon dioxide, and there are certain areas of the Taj that are completely and totally bricked up. And when you look at those photos, the bricking up of it is atrocious. So you can see that whoever did the bricking up was not the same. They were not the same people that built the Taj Mahal in all of its glory. It was just
Yeah.
freaking bricked up as quickly as possible to try and alleviate this carbon dioxide going through the building and through the areas, and actually destroying this precious white marble.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can see on the left-hand side of this picture, this bricked area, this whole archway being completely bricked up. That's one of the good ones.
And if you
So
look at that, there's a bit of pareidolia going on there. You can almost make out like a word like F, S, oops. Hang on, let me get that back. T. It just looks like there's a word there.
yeah.
But that's pareidolia. That's not real. Oh, and this is another one of my efforts that I've put in there. I put in the test tube. You're welcome.
So it's believed that in 1974, an American professor, Marvin Mills, took a sample from the door for carbon dating. This is down in the guts of the Taj Mahal, and released research that the monument predates Shah Jahan. According to some people, after this revelation, the government of India removed the timber doors of the basement and bricked them up. So this is where a conspiracy story starts to come in, saying that the Taj Mahal or the bits that we as visitors see nowadays is actually built on a much older shrine and monument that predates the Shah and
Wow.
Shah Jahan, which may lead it to have been built by someone that the Indians don't really like and don't want to have in any part of their history, and for the reason of why it was built. There are a couple of things, if you kind of search the internet, where you'll find bits and pieces of information where this theory has been dug through deeper. I did last night actually read about some more people who came up with more evidence to prove that the base of the Taj Mahal is a lot older than they say it is, but the government of India doesn't want to have a part of any of this story, which is quite interesting because you go, what is actually going on here? Is this true?
And when you think how much money the Taj Mahal is bringing them in as well, it is such a tourist destination.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is the reason why. And again, there's a whole area around the Taj that has literally been closed off so as to keep the marble white, because it can get dirty very, very quickly. So there is less traffic around there. There are no buildings or factories around there. So the whole idea is to keep the area as clean as possible so that the marble is glistening. It's as clean as possible. But if we dig further into it, some of these scientists and some of these people that are coming up with these theories their voices are being silenced. It's like the government and any of the bodies that are associated with the Taj do not want to hear about it. They don't want to go into any scientific research or anything with regard to that. This is just, it's closed off. We don't want to talk about it. The history is as it is. We're going to attribute it to Shah Jahan. That's it. Don't bother us with any more information. But there is there is a sweet little inkling that there's more to this, and there could have been a temple previously on that spot that predates Shah Jahan.
It'd be interesting to hear the tour guides that tell the story of the location. Do they mention it or not?
They wouldn't. I think from memory, and I could well be wrong, that what the reference to the original, if there is an original temple there, goes back to early invasions from different countries, and so they would have put temples on those spots for their religious identities, and then all of that was obviously destroyed as others came through, and so you've got all these rival religions and everything trying to base themselves in these countries, and that never goes well. And this is another one of these beautiful, beautiful entrances. And you can see very distinctly that these photos show a very different style of building, a very different type of materials that are used, and very much a lot older than what you see above ground. These are very, very different. So, yeah, let's have a think about those. So one of the most prominent mysteries of the Taj Mahal is that it is said that the graves that are open for public in Taj Mahal are dummy graves. The real graves of Mumtaz and Shah Jahan are preserved in the basement to keep the original graves safe. The basement has been sealed.
I suppose there would be grave robbers that would come in and try to get a souvenir.
Yeah, yeah. So apparently, I think these are the ones that are shown to the public, but they are definitely not where the Shah and Mumtaz are buried.
That looks like size does matter there. Sorry, I'll just jump over to there. Have I gone one too far? No.
So the Taj Mahal wasn't always a wonder, because after his death, it was neglected. This is after Mumtaz's death. It was neglected. It underwent repairs until such time that it attracted over 3 million people to visit the Taj Mahal annually. So it actually lay in ruins for a while. Isn't that interesting? To further protect this wondrous architecture, the Supreme Court in India ordered some factories to be closed so that the white marble facade of the mausoleum will not be blackened by the pollution from nearby factories. Also, vehicular traffic was banned from the vicinity of the Taj Mahal. According to other reports, one of the architects of the Taj Mahal committed suicide. This was after he discovered that the mausoleum was facing the wrong direction. Allegedly, he jumped to his death from the 5th floor of the complex. Now, I found this as part of the articles about the Taj Mahal, the mausoleum, but there is an actual Taj Mahal hotel, and this actually belongs to the Taj Mahal motel, not the
Oh,
Taj Mahal mausoleum.
oh
So
wow.
you've got to actually look for that too. Or you will be picking up information about the Taj Mahal Hotel, which has its own ghost stories, as opposed to the mausoleum. But I thought I'd leave that there because it's actually quite interesting that, this is how these myths and stories start to blend and weave into one another, and it all just becomes one big
Conglomeration of bits and
story.
bobs.
Yeah.
And please note that I did make an effort there and put a blood splat in the middle of that one for you.
Oh, thank you. So the ghost of the architect is said to be seen by some roaming the halls of the Taj Mahal. He's also usually seen walking around the roof. And this again, I thought the roof, what's going on here? And so then I kind of worked backwards and went, okay, the roof of the Taj Mahal hotel.
And I mean, there are some people who will present this stuff without digging and thinking about it, and that's why we end up with this mismatch of stories, because they don't actually research it. They just regurgitate it. What we were doing the other day, and somebody had completely got it wrong, and they just copied and pasted from somewhere else, and I can't remember what it was, but they said, oh, it was a fact that such and such had happened. And no, that was just one of the myths that had happened. So it's important to sort of dig down a little bit. I mean, you can't check every source, but if there's something going on, you're thinking that's not quite right, you should check it.
And look, to be honest, we don't have a lot of time to go in and do that deep research and go into archival stuff. We just don't, especially when we're presenting every week. We try and do our best to see whether we can find information and have supportive information. So when we find a piece of information, where else does it appear? And how far back can we go to find stuff? But it's not always possible. So kind of, when you see people presenting things, to take things with a grain of salt. And if the subject matter interests you, go and do some more research, because you probably find, just like us, that most average people who have other things to do in their life, and not spend 24 hours a day researching, have the ability to do the research that's required. So a writer who visited the temple claimed that she saw the ghost of Mumtaz Mahal and a couple of workers when she visited the Taj Mahal. The writer claimed that it was her first experience to have an encounter with a non-English speaking ghost. When she stepped into the floor of the Taj Mahal, the writer said, I felt her take hold of me as chills went down my spine and goosebumps stood hair on end. The writer added that the ghost of Mumtaz Mahal was excited. The writer was there and even asked the writer if she could come with her during the tour, although the writer told her she was free to go when she wanted to. The ghost of Mumtaz Mahal stayed with her. That's another doorway.
That's a nice doorway. Thank you for sharing. Is that a flashlight? That's the biggest flashlight in the left hand. Oh, that's his arm as well. I thought that was a whole big flashlight that extended right down. Oh, woo! Hi, that's a big one.
The writer posted a photo showing what seemed to be the soul that was following her. She noted that although the soul looked like it was dark, it was not necessarily evil.
Now, is this the photo coming up?
Yes.
So we're talking about the person picking their nose behind her?
No, I think it's to
left?
Yeah.
That just looks like somebody moved through the frame.
Yeah, and look, we have a writer here. We have a writer who has put a story up, and allegedly this writer then wrote a book. So let's put two and two together here. She could have been in there doing research and stumbled upon this and gone, this is so interesting, I'm going to write a book. Or was it vice versa? She decided to write a book and then went in and created a story. I don't know. I'm just putting that thought into people's heads. The writer added that she also saw three men ghosts who were still working as if they were trapped during the time when they were constructing the Taj Mahal. The ghosts merely glanced at the writer and continued to talk to themselves as to what then needed to be worked on. Another doorway.
Nice doorway. I like your doorway presentation, Renata.
This was difficult. And this is a photo that I found as well about a weird UFO. A weird UFO happening. It looks like someone has transposed the picture of a rat into the sky. Really,
I thought it was a squished flea. Actually,
if you looked, that could be true.
That's what it looks like.
True. That could be true. That you can actually find that on the internet, and there is a 15-minute video attached. But I thought that was going to be 15 minutes of my life that I would never get back. So I didn't bother. But honestly, that is all of the ghost stories that you can find about the Taj Mahal. There is nothing else that I could lay my hands on